What's up, everybody? It's Trey Smith, co-owner of Recaptured Values, alongside my talented wife,
Bailey Smith.
And hey, guys, we've been working for you guys. I've been kind of behind the scenes, which is why you haven't been seeing me. But trust me, I've been working for you guys.
Working the magic.
I'm the magic man. I've been doing all the social media pages, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you name it. You know what I mean? I've been working for you guys. But yes, a lot of big things are coming, and we are happy that you are watching these videos. We hope these videos help you guys. And
we're going to be putting out new videos every Tuesday, and we're going to call it Teach It Tuesday. So be prepared to learn. So whether you're a mama, a grandma, and any sort of family member making stuff for your little nieces and nephews, whatever. Right. Shop owners, we welcome you to watch our videos and learn. We're just going to be going through our favorite patterns and showing you how we use them in our own shop, and we hope you can benefit from them.
Well, enough of the introduction. We hope you enjoy this video. See y'all on the other side.
Hey everybody, it's Bailey Smith from Recaptured Values, and today we're going to be learning how to do a DIY face mask. With all the COVID nonsense going on right now, it's going to be extremely important that when the country starts really opening back up, that people are protected and wear face coverings per government regulations and mandates and whatnot. So we're going to try to show you some really simple ways. It's one way to make a face mask, but you can use multiple objects as far as how to tie it around your head. So let's get started. For the adult size, we typically do 2 different sizes in our shop that we sell. So we're going to teach you guys how to make it, or you can buy from our shop at recapturedvalues.com. So this is a piece of 100% cotton fabric, no stretch, just 100% cotton, and it is 8 inches by 14 inches. That's the adult size, 8 inches by 14 inches. So for the child size here, it is 6.5 inches by 14 inches. Okay, so you need one of those depending on what size you're gonna do. We're gonna do the adult size for today. And then you will need 2 little pieces of the same fabric. You could mix and match if you wanted to be cute with it and do a solid of this. This is gonna be the side pieces of the mask. So you need 2 pieces of this, which is 2 inches by 5 inches long, 2 of those. And then if you can find elastic, the gold mine of all gold mines right now, because everyone's making face masks, you can find elastic. You need 2 7-inch pieces of elastic for the adult size, or you need 2 6-inch pieces of elastic for the child size. This is 1/8 elastic. We bought it by the roll. It seems to be that might be the only way you can find elastic right now is by the roll. You don't need a roll of elastic, which is about anywhere from 180 to 288 yards of elastic. If you're not feeling that fancy to make that many masks, you're in luck, because this is 1/8. This is 1/4. Let's see if you can see it. This is 1/4 elastic. It'd be the same. We've just heard a lot from medical professionals that they prefer the 1/8 elastic because it's easier on the ears and it doesn't pull as much. But let's say you can't find elastic. You're not alone. Here is a piece of double brushed poly fabric cut at 1.5 inches by about 50 inches with the stretch going this way. So we've cut that, and then you pretty much pull it and it starts curling and rolling and making this really cool, tie that's really nice on the ears and around the head as well. Okay, so you don't have knit fabric, you can just use your 100% cotton fabric in the same print, or maybe a solid. We cut ours also at 1.5 inches by width of fabric, and the width of fabric for cotton, I think this one's about 40 inches, maybe 44. It's typically what the width of fabric of cotton fabric is about 40, 44 for store-bought cotton fabric. And I'll show you how to make this into a tie in just a little bit. But so those are the way you can use to do the ties. These ones would go all the way around the head. These ones would just be ear loops, cut at 7 inches or 6 inches for child. So we're gonna get started. To get started with the face mask, right now you need to decide if you want to put a filter pocket on it or not. We typically don't do the filter pockets just because it's a lot easier just to go and get it done. If you did want to do a filter pocket, I'm not going to show you exactly how to do it, but I'll try to explain to you as quickly as possible. So pretty much what I would do, I would just finish this side here, and I'd finish this side here, and what would consist of me finishing the seam, I would serge it and then flip the serge underneath like this and top stitch it down, and I do the same thing on this side. And then with those two sides finished, I would place them wrong sides together, and then I would back stitch with a straight stitch this way, back stitch here, then I'd move my needle to here, and then a back stitch and sew here and back stitch again. So basically what you do is you create a little pocket here, and then you cut your thread left over. And so you cut that, and you have a pocket here that you could stuff maybe a coffee filter some people are using, or the carbon, activated carbon filters, charcoal filters that you could put in there. So that's if you want to add the pocket. If you don't, basically keep going here, and this is how this will work. No matter if you add the pocket or not, the next few steps other than this is how you would do it without a pocket. You would serge this entire seam wrong sides together. Serge or straight stitch this seam with a 1/4 or a 1/4 seam allowance right here. And so I'm gonna go do that real fast, and I'll serge this top seam here. That's what it looks like. Again, if you don't have a serger, you can use a sewing machine, just a straight stitch right here, back stitch on each side so it doesn't come unraveled. So then you're gonna flip it. So you get pretty much tube right now. That's tube. You're gonna flip it right side out, and then you're gonna press it. And so it's important to make sure that this top line here is crispy. You go over to your iron, and if you've chosen to do the pocket filter, you've gotten to this step because you've already closed this, and you just have an opening here, and that's just open. That's where you put your things. So you've got to this point no matter if you've chosen to do the pocket or if you've chosen to just do it double layer with no pocket. So you're at this step now, and from here on out they're exactly the same construction. So what I like to do is I like to get a pen or a marker of some sort. I'm gonna use a permanent marker here. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it like this against your line here. If you don't have the cut mat, you can use a ruler, that's fine. But basically, as long as you get these little marks correct, you're going to do a mark at 1.5, then you're gonna do a mark at 2.5, then you're gonna do a mark at 3, then you're gonna do a mark at 4, then you're gonna do a mark at 4.5, and then you're gonna do a mark at 5.5. And you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. You'll just repeat that. So 1.5, 2.5, 3, 4, 4.5, and 5.5. And then you will go back to your iron, and you can also take these little pieces because you'll need to iron these pieces. So we're gonna go over to the iron real fast. So we're here at the iron, and then I'm just use a travel iron. So we can get these little pieces out of the way. You're gonna fold them wrong sides together in half, and you just press them down like this. And so you get just fold it in half. Do the same thing with the other side. Just fold it in half, press it down. All right, so that's what you'll need for that. So we've got this done, we got our little marks here. And so this is the top seam. We're gonna start with the one that has about 1 inch from the top. So this was the one we did 1.5 inches here. So this was the top part. I'm gonna flip it over this way, and I'm gonna fold it back to this line right here, to our first little mark that we did here. And I'm going to press it. Okay, and I'm gonna fold it again back to the second line here and press it. And then that one's a little silly there. And then you're gonna do it again here to the last line and press it. So that's your press lines. As you can see, we have a line here, we have a line here still, and a line here still that I haven't got. So what those are gonna do, you're gonna grab the part that you pressed, and you're gonna grab it up from both sides and fold it up to that line that's above it here. Fold that one, and you can press it as you go if you want to. If that's easier for you to just go ahead and press it, just take care not to press that line that you got folded here. So then you're gonna fold this next one. Be really careful because after you iron it, of course, it's gonna be hot. So you fold the middle fold line up to this next little line here. And then same thing with this last one here. You're gonna fold it up to the lines. And you're gonna press all 3 pleats down. This is just making the pleats because this is a 3-pleat, double layer, 100% cotton face mask. Okay, so that's what you get, and you get 3 beautiful pleats. You do this exact same thing no matter the size you choose, if you choose adult or kids, and then you have your 2 little pieces that you just did. So now everything else that we do is going to be at the sewing machine, so let's head on over there. Alright, so we're at the sewing machine, and I just use a Singer Stylist. 7258 is my brand. Pretty much any sewing machine with a straight stitch will work though. So I'm going to put this in here like this and make sure my pleats are folded back up. I like to hold it in the middle here, and I'm just going to do a straight based stitch along the edge here, just pretty close to the edge, just to keep my pleats down as I go. It's not really important that you back stitch this because it's literally just a base stitch that's going to hold your pleats down so that they don't move as you sew. Alright, so you can snip your little pieces off here. Sorry, I'm kicking this thing around. Snip your little end pieces if you want to, or you can wait till the end. I typically do wait till the end, but for neatness sake, I will do it now. I'm just snipping the little ends here. And then also cleaning up the sides where the fabric has frayed. Okay, so this will be the step where you would add elastic if you have it. If not, you can go to the next step. We'll do a timestamp, so you will go to the adding the side pieces. If you do not have elastic, follow the next step, which is adding the side pieces. But if you do have elastic, this works for either the 1/8 or 1/4 inch elastic. So what I like to do my straight stitch, and I like to shorten it to 1.5 length, just to make sure that I am securing this tiny little piece of elastic here. And so what I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and about 1/4 of an inch away from the top here, I'm going to put my elastic all the way up against the edge. And about 1/4 away from the elastic, I'm just going to go back and forth over it. So I'm going to go forward and back stitch over it once. So then that's what it looks like when you get it on there. And then you're going to do the same thing with this one, and you're going to wrap it, and take care to make sure you don't have this, you know, flipped any type of way, because you want it to curve the same. So then we're going to do the exact same thing on the bottom part here, and then you're going to flip it around and do the exact same thing on this side here. Same thing. So I'm going to do this pretty quick. And again, like I said, if you don't have elastic, skip to the next step, and we'll label that adding the side pieces. So from here, once you get your elastic, that's how it will look. Once you get your elastic added, you'll snip your little pieces here just to make it neat and even. So I'm just going to go ahead and snip these. I normally just snip them onto the table and then scoop them up. That may drive somebody crazy. Sorry. It's just what I do. So I'm going to snip all these little pieces here. Snip them, snip them. We've made so many masks, you guys. This is going to be 2020 trend of the year will be the mask. And not on purpose. So, here we go. Let's snip this side here. Okay, so I just like to make it nice and even. Okay, so now here is the part where we will add the side pieces. So, side piece here. My fabric is really fraying. Let me move that out the way. Okay, so here's the side piece. So here's the folded edge that we folded, you know, that we did here. So we're going to add this piece to here with the elastic facing up. We are going to put this like this, if you can see it. This is the raw edge here. The raw edge of this, I've butted it up against this. And so at the top here, where before I start sewing, I am going to fold it over the top. So it's going to look like this on the back side, and it's going to look like this on this side. And I'm going to sew about 1/4 of the edge, 1/4 seam allowance. So I've got it folded under there. If you can see, it's going to create like that. So it's this piece right here is folded under here at the top. So I'm going to do a 1/4 seam allowance, back stitch a little bit. First I need to change my settings, and I like to do 3-inch, we'll do 2.5 length for a straight stitch. So we'll go straight down here, and then before you get too close, you're going to want to fold this edge underneath, and then you keep going. So that's what it's going to look like on this side and this side. So you're just going to snip your little pieces. And then you're going to do the exact same thing for the other side. Remember, the elastic side's facing up. You're going to put raw edges, match your raw edges together, fold this piece right here around this piece and hold it. Put it underneath your sewing machine and do about a 1/4 inch seam allowance and back stitch. And then before you get to the edge, fold the bottom piece here under the edge. And then pull it out. So now you got both sides done here. And we will just make that even. That little piece. Okay, so that's what you get. And so now what you're going to do, so that's the back, and that's the front side there. So now you're going to fold your pieces around. So then that's what you're going to get. So when you flip them up, that's what you're going to get there. So you do that same thing for both sides. Alright, so now that's what you get. Once you've got it looking like this on this side and this with the elastic side, you are going to put the elastic side down and fold this part here. Okay, so here. So you fold it and you make sure your little pieces are folded under. And you're going to put it underneath. Be cautious. Put it underneath your sewing machine. And now you're going to sew a straight stitch right here, as close to this edge as possible without going off of it. And so it's going to be important that you pull it straight like this. So you're going to back stitch the top here. I like to do it a few times just to make sure. Go slow and steady until you get the hang of it. Straight stitch all the way down, and then back stitch when you get here. And back stitching is really important because this is supposed to be 100% cotton, double layered, and washable. So in order to make sure that it stays up during the wash or holds up during the wash, you need to back stitch both here and here. So as you can see, that was my stitch. It's as close to the edge as I could get without going over. See, as you can see, it's not perfect, but so that's how it looks. So if you chose not to do elastic, this is what yours would look like. It would just be the edge piece here. If you chose not to do elastic because you don't have elastic. But basically what we did, so I'm going to go ahead and snip this piece, these pieces on the edge, these little side pieces here. Let's snip those. Boom, boom, boom. And then you do the same thing with the other side. So elastic side down, fold this over, put it underneath, and then like these little pieces, if you lay it like this little folded over piece under here kind of folds out, just kind of squish it underneath with your finger and hold it steady. Same thing with this side, back stitch, as close to that edge as possible, and then back stitch again. I may over back stitch, but again, I just want to make sure that you get the seam as close as possible. As you can see, that's my little seam there. Okay, so we're gonna snip those little edge pieces. And like I said, so if you chose to omit elastic, if you just didn't have any elastic available, or you prefer the tie style better, we have just created a little loop thing here, a little opening. Let's see if you can see it. Well, maybe if you can see it. Okay. So you created a tube pretty much from here to here that you can insert with a safety pin. You can insert the tie, or you can insert the knit fabric. So let's go back over here. That's all the sewing that is necessary for this mask. So if you did elastic, you're done. That's all you needed to do. But if you chose not to do elastic, let's go over here and figure out other ways you could do ties. Alright, so if you didn't have elastic available and you have the stretchy knit fabric, like I said, this is double brushed poly that I used, you would put a safety pin. You kind of bunch this fabric together on the ends here, and then you use a safety pin, attach a safety pin here like this so that you can easily thread this through. Okay, so you're pretty much just putting it in this hole here. Like I said, you wouldn't have elastic on this, but so you'd poke it through there, try to make sure that your fabric goes through, and you pretty much just feed it through. You keep scrunching it through. Almost to the edge here. You're pretty much just feeding it through. And then when you get to the edge, well, I got tucked here. Make sure I go around this little edge here. If it gets stuck, you pull it back out, because what it's getting stuck in is that part that you folded under. So if it gets stuck, pull it back out and kind of position it further down. So you've pulled it out through there. You've pulled it out through there, and you just pull it through. You can take your piece off here, and then you'll want to do the same thing for the other side. You will want to make sure that you thread that piece the same way through here. And this is all if you have like t-shirt cotton, cotton lycra, cotton spandex, double brushed poly. Any knit fabric with a really good stretch is going to be really good for this method. And like I said, I'm just like scrunching the safety pin through here piece by piece. And like you can get to the end here, and when you push your safety pin and you see that there's fabric on it, push your safety pin back a little bit and kind of maneuver it a little bit over, because all that is getting caught underneath the part that you folded under to do your side pieces. So you pull that out, and you take your safety pin out. All right, so then when you're trying to put this on your face, like I said, this will be like this. So this part will be around your head like this. So you pull this tight here. And then this part would be here. You wrap around and you tie it like so. And I'm just gonna tie it once for now. And then you pull the pleats down like this. And so that's how it fit. Of course, this elastic pieces wouldn't be there if you chose to do the ties. But so this is a really comfy way to do it. You have this piece going around here, and then you have this piece tied around your neck. You can also tie it up if you wanted to. You could tie it up if you didn't want it behind your neck. But this provides really good coverage. As you can see, this sits pretty close to your face. It's a really easy way to do it. So. Alright, so if you don't have the fabric, the knit stretchy fabric to do that, and you do have some cotton, because if you have this to do a mask, then you most likely have this to do this. You will need a 1.5 inch piece of cotton woven fabric, and this is selvage to selvage, so it's probably about 44 inches or 40 inches long here. And okay, so you're gonna pretty much make yourself some bias tape. They have bias makers at the store, and again, just as elastic is a basically like gold right now, so are bias tape makers. You can buy ready-made bias tape, but again, that's also, people have already thought of that, so you're kind of a little late for this in the game. But I'm going to teach you a way that people used to do it back in the day, and probably people still do it. This is like the quilters 101 right here. This is a trick that grannies have taught for years. So pretty much what you're going to do is you're going to start your fabric here, and you're going to fold it right or wrong sides together in half. So you're going to press your seam with your iron. Press it. You're good to go. Now let's move that out of the way. Okay. So you have your pressed middle piece. And then you're going to fold edge and then edge. So it's basically, if you've ever seen bias tape, that's what you're making. So that's what you're going to fold it as. And so I have put 2 pins under my little iron mat. You could use your ironing board if you have that, which has this stuff material on top of it. So I'm going to stick it through. These are 2 needles stuck through here and on this side. And I am going to stick the piece that I've already kind of prepared underneath this needle here. Alright, so I got it through one. And I'm going to stick it underneath this one here. It's a little tricky to get it started, but once you get going, it's a lot easier to do. So stick it under this one. Like I said, it's a little tricky just to get it going. Oops. Got one side. Do the other side. Come on. Let me pull it out and then go back over here. Okay. Alright, so that's how it looks. And then you start pulling it and it automatically kind of folds it for you. You may have to fiddle with it just a little bit. It's not as perfect as a bias tape maker, but hey, if you don't have a bias tape maker, this works perfectly. And so pretty much you'll just pull it gently. Like I said, you may have to fiddle with it just a little bit to make sure that it stays. But as you keep going, you just iron this piece here. And you're just going to keep doing that as you go along here. It's a little bit more time consuming, but if you don't have elastic and you absolutely need, or you don't have knit fabric too, and you want to make a face mask ASAP, it's like I said, some states are issuing mandated face mask coverings or face coverings in public. So this is how you would do it if you don't have any of those things readily available. So you'll do this the whole way through. Of course, you pull all the way through, and then you get a long strip of that kind of fabric, and then you would fold it together like so, as you can see right there. And then you would, of course, press it, because that's gonna set you up for success later. You'd press it just like this, and then you get this thing here that's hot. Ouch. So then you get this here, of course, and you would do a straight stitch. Then you're going to do a straight stitch on this edge to keep these sides together. And again, I would probably do a 1/4 inch seam allowance, straight stitch down here. Make sure you backstitch your edges. And then you can also do a little stitch here. And pretty much you would insert this. I'm not going to sew it for purposes of this video because you guys pretty much understand it. But then you'd also, after you get that sewn up, you'd put the safety pin here on your ends. And you would insert it just like we did the knit fabric. You'd insert it into here and tie it exactly the same around the face. Knit fabric is going to be a little bit more forgiving on your head and relieve some pressure, but that's how you make a face mask. This is how it looks when you do the elastic, and then you would pull it like this. So that's how it looks with the elastic. I got my little hairs in here. So that's the elastic. Pull my hairs out. So that's how it works. Of course, you wouldn't touch your face like this. But that's how this looks here. And of course, you'd want to keep it up here. You could absolutely, if you want to put the wire in the nose. You can use a pipe cleaner. Just you need to make sure you fasten that correctly. A lot of people are rounding the edges of those wires to make sure that they don't poke through. That's really important. But this one really, it doesn't, I haven't had any problems with it. Works really good. And then of course, to remove your mask when you've been out in public, you just touch the elastic like this and go straight in the washing machine when you get home. So just remember that with all your masks, treat them just like they have been infected. When you go out in public, make sure that you only touch the elastic and then wash your hands, hand sanitize if you have it. If not, soap and water, hot water. Get your stuff sanitized and make sure you wash this every single time you use it, because you never know. This is not fail proof. This is just to cover, you know, to keep it, to give you an extra layer of protection. This is not medical grade at all. You can add the filter, like I said earlier in the very beginning. You could add the pocket if you want, but that's pretty much how you do it. If you have elastic, if you have woven fabric ties, or if you have knit fabric laying around. I actually really liked the knit fabric. That was really comfortable. I haven't done that yet, but this is the way that we sell them in our shop here. We've got plenty of elastic left, so if you don't feel like making yours, you can order from our shop and, you know, we'll get you covered. But this is how to make a face mask, whether you have elastic or you don't. So if you guys haven't noticed, if you just stumbled upon this video for face mask, we put out videos every Tuesday, or a video every Tuesday, teaching people how to do something that is beneficial. And we are a clothing business, a handmade clothing business for kids, mostly kids. And but we did these because we felt the need to, you know, keep our family and friends and customers safe. So we offered these at a low cost, and so we're showing you how to make them too for people who, you know, don't want to buy and have fabric laying around and want to learn a new skill possibly. So we are Recaptured Values. I am co-owner along with my husband who's in there. But we just rolled out a membership program to give small business owners and people who just want to learn more a little extra help. And so we have 4 different levels really. We have bronze, gold, or silver, gold, and platinum. And they're cost different amounts. Bronze is of course the least, platinum is the highest, and you get a little extra in each of those tiers. But the bronze tier is our group, and when you become a member, you get to join our Facebook group. It's an exclusive Facebook group for our members, and in there you get all sorts of good tidbits and stuff. And but today we wanted to give a special shout out to one of our platinum members, Lorraine Bose. Go check them out. She is one of our platinum members, and she is doing the thing. She is making them bows and making them bummies and the cutest little outfits. She just added some HTV vinyl t-shirts. They're super cute, so check her out. So Lorraine Bose. But that's one of our membership perks of our gold package. So if you go gold, you get all of the levels, but that's a perk of being a member. So check our memberships out. We have a video explaining more in detail about how that goes. So we'll post the join link below if you just want to go ahead and join. If you're like, hey, I want that, go ahead and join the group, join the family. We'd love to have you. But this is how you make the face mask, and I really hope it helps you. You guys stay safe, and we'll see you next Tuesday.